What's going on, Washington Commanders Nation? Happy New Year to all. It is the first day of 2025. Let's hope 2025 can be as beautiful as 2024 was to our Washington Commanders. Our rookie quarterback got the most votes of all quarterbacks in the NFL and was third in the entire league for any position. Let's talk about it. It's the first of the month. Wake up, Washington Commanders Nation. Not only is it the first of the month, it's the first of the year, January 1st, 2025. And we're walking into the new year on all good vibes coming out of DC after Sunday's 11th clinching win for the first time in 33 years. Another superhero-like performance from Jayden Daniels, and the Pro Bowl votes for 2024 have been tallied. And if it were not for Taylor Swift fans, Jayden would probably be number 2 because Travis Kelce is washed and ended up getting more votes than everybody in the league. But we know when you date the most popular pop star in the league with a cult-like following, this sort of thing happens. Travis Kelce gets the most votes with 252,000. Jahmyr Gibbs is number 2 with 250,000. Our guy, JD5, Jayden Daniels, 242,352 votes. What a time to be alive. We're talking about a rookie quarterback who's 391 scrimmage yards from Cam Newton's record, all-time record for rookies for most total scrimmage yards in a season. We're talking about a guy who has this entire DMV area organization on his back, a guy that the league cannot wait to tout and put to the front of the rest of the conference because he's marketable, he's great, he's cool, he's calm, he's collective, he's not corny, and he's going to put asses in seats for the next decade plus in this league. So this should not surprise you none. Washington actually finished with the third most total Pro Bowl votes in this entire league. In the entire NFL, Washington finished with the third most Pro Bowl votes. I've never experienced this type of thing in my life. As far as guys finishing top 5 in their position for the Pro Bowl fan voting, of course, Jayden, number 1 most votes out of all quarterbacks in the league, with Joe Burrow and Jared Goff as the 2 closest to him, and I believe Lamar Jackson's the next one. Bobby Wagner got the most votes for inside linebacker. You know, fan voting is a popularity contest, and Bobby Wagner is not the one who I would think would be the number 1 out of those 2. But popularity contest, he's going to get it over Frankie Louvu. Tyler Biadasz is second among centers. Jeremy Reeves is second among special teamers. Tress Way is second among punters. Tyler Ott, our long snapper, got some love. Second among long snappers. Sam Cosmi, third amongst guards. Frankie Louvu and Fowler were 4th and 5th amongst linebackers, and Jeremy Chin and McLaurin were 4th among safeties and wide receivers. What a goddamn time to be alive and to be a Washington Commanders fan. We're going to have a few Pro Bowlers this year. I know the Pro Bowl is for shits and giggles. It's a gathering. It's like spring break for the NFL in between the Super Bowl now. They run around in T-shirts and play dodgeball and trick shots and flag football for the game. But this shit means something to me. It means something to me personally. I want to watch Jayden Daniels walking around the Pro Bowl, mixing, mingling, recruiting, laughing, just having a good old time with the league's best players. I want to see that. I want to see how he bumps shoulders with some of the better players in the league. And I'll definitely be watching him in the precision passing contests or in the dodgeball or in the actual Pro Bowl game, But this means something to me. And this also shows some of the tide that is turning here in DC. Like, there's a CVS receipt list of records and things I've never seen this team accomplish in my life taking place right now. And we have an MVP candidate as a rookie quarterback, guys. And he is so chill and nonchalant about he just loves the game, man. He just loves the freaking game. We're talking about a team that's number one in fourth down conversions. An offense that's number one in fourth down conversions, 19 for 22. You know how many fourth down conversions that is? It's because every time we get in fourth and manageable, when you have 5 at quarterback, they're like, fuck it. He got it. I got 5 on it. Every time we get the fourth down and we pass the midfield stripe, the game plan is I got 5 on it. Give him the option to run or pass, and defenses are on their heels, shaking in their boots because 5's going to make it happen. 22 fourth down attempts this year. We've converted 19 of them. That is absurd, including the 4th and 11 versus the Philadelphia Eagles. 4th and 11 with the game on the line with a quarter left. We watch 5 split defenders and go up the sideline for 30 plus yards. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful sight to take in. Third down conversions. Only 2 teams in the league are better on third down than the Washington Commanders. That is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Detroit Lions. Very, very elite company. And I feel like the only reason we're not number one is because we always, on third and short, we always try to run that shit up the middle and get stuffed. And then we're in a situation where we need to go for it on fourth down again. But, man, what a year it's been. Let's carry some of that energy into 2025 because Washington has punched its playoff ticket for the first time in 4 years and first double-digit win season since 2012. We're going to be at the 6th seed or 7th seed, meaning we're going to be playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Rams, or the Philadelphia Eagles in the first round of the playoffs. Either way you put it, that's a good quality football team. I don't know. In case people forgot how good the Buccaneers are this year, they probably have the best collection of victories. Like, they've beat us by 17. They beat the Lions. They beat the Eagles by 17. And they beat the Chargers by 23 points. So, go ahead and sleep if you want to. It's a pick your poison type situation, but, I think I'd rather in round 1 send us up to LA, put us in that dome, send Jayden back home to California. Let's get active. But whoever we play, I'm with the shits because I believe in this team because number 5 plays for this team. And as long as number 5 is on that football field, I feel confident that we can score on anybody. Is our defense going to have lapses? Sure is. But with 5 on that field, I believe, man. I believe. So, moving on to some injury updates for hopefully the playoffs. This week, honestly, if you're not 100%, you shouldn't even be going, even though this game matters. Like, let's not sit here and play games with the injury report this week. If you're hurt, sit out. If not, let's go. Let's go into Dallas this weekend and get this dub so we can lock in this 6th seed and go up to LA. But Austin Ekeler, is there a chance we're getting Austin Ekeler back for the playoffs? He was asked this. He does a weekly spot on Grant and Danny. This is one category that is tough to talk about because you don't want to say something, then something else happens. It's kind of a week-to-week thing. Unfortunately, right now, all I can really say is I'm going to be in alignment with what is out there in the public, but my hope is that I can get back and make some more contributions to this team. There's a lot of boxes that need to be checked with concussion protocol. You just don't really know. You could check all the boxes and feel fine, but you got to make sure that the independent is taking time to do their due diligence and that they also feel comfortable with getting you back on the field. That's something that's out of control, but I have checked some hurdles off along the way. There is a chance Washington can have Austin Ekeler back for the playoffs. For the playoffs, whoever we match up against, we could desperately use Austin Ekeler because he's by far our most dynamic running back. He's really the only running back on the roster that you could call versatile. You could line him up on the outside, line him up on the inside. You could throw him the ball. You can hand it to him. You can do a little bit of everything with him. And he's also a kick returner and a damn good one. He was a good kick. He got hurt on the kick return, but he was a damn good kick returner for this team in 2024. It would be huge news if Washington could get Austin Ekeler back. I imagine even if he were to be cleared this week, I see no reason to put him out on the field versus Dallas this weekend. Let Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols have a day with Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson desperately needs a tune-up before the playoffs going, because while he had 4.6 yards a carry the other day, he was not very effective, and he's not been very effective over Washington's last couple games. We could use Austin Ekeler. We can use some of his explosion, his change of pace, and Lord knows in the passing game, we can use a running back we can actually throw screens to, actually throw a screen pass to. Because Austin Ekeler earlier in the season, he was unlocking things in our offense that we have not been able to unlock since he started getting injured this season. But fingers crossed that we can have Eck back in time for the playoffs. That would be absolutely phenomenal, because I love Jayden being capable of putting the cape on and uplifting this roster out there in the overtime of a playoff winning end game. He's out there with KJ Osborne, Olamide Zaccheaus, Bryson Tremaine, and Chris Rodriguez and John Bates on the field. Your favorite quarterback could never, unless he's my favorite quarterback, and that is JD5, Jayden Daniels. You never want to put too much on the guy's plate, even though you know he's capable of such already in year one. But Austin Ekeler, if it's safe for you, your career and your life, we would love to have you back this season. But I'm not mad at you if you don't touch the football field again. Another guy we desperately need the injury report and an update for is Marshon Lattimore. Does anybody want to see Marshon Lattimore play this week? Absolutely fucking not. I do not want to see Marshon Lattimore suited up versus Dallas. What I do want to hear is that he's on track to go in the playoff, because I'm looking at these wide receiving cores on paper. We talking Mike Evans, Jalen McMillan in Tampa Bay. We talking Puka, Cooper, Demarcus Robinson and company in LA. We already know Skinny Batman and Big Batman, AJ Brown and Smitty down in Philadelphia. We watched Michael Davis play football on Sunday, and we know what Benjamin St. Juice is. Benjamin St. Juice, I have a newfound affinity and appreciation for your services, my guy. But that Michael Davis guy can't win with him. You cannot put that pros versus Joes, the Jersey Disney Channel fan living out his NFL dream to play in an NFL game technique body ass. Oh my goodness. Watching Michael Davis play corner is very unserious. It's very problematic, and I never need to see that guy touch the field other than special teams. I don't even know if I want him on the field on special teams, because we usually have good special teams play here. I feel like he could drag down the morale of the room. He's terrible. He's terrible. Marshon Lattimore's hamstring. That's like the main priority. Him and Jayden. Make sure Jayden's good and make sure Marshon Lattimore's hamstring's good. Those are the main ideas, the plot, the entire storylines heading into the playoff. We got a game this weekend. We're not going to see Marshon Lattimore this weekend. They said he ran around and they started to get him doing some running on Monday, but they're back out at practice today. It is Wednesday the 1st, and we're going to be getting some type of injury report probably this afternoon to evening. We're going to start to put together and figure out what's the situation going to be with these guys. I feel like we'll find out sooner than later if Marshon's going to play next week in the playoff game. I expect DMPs for Sean in practice all week. It would be very encouraging if he popped up limited on the injury report, but I'm not truly concerned with this week's injury report. It's next week when we get into the playoffs. And speaking of the P word, the playoffs. Yes, we're talking playoffs, baby. We've talked about the teams we're going to play. We were talking about this in the group chat the other day. What is you guys' preference on when we play in the playoff? Because the playoff format, there's 6 games. There's 3 in each conference during Super Wild Card weekend. And I didn't last year, wasn't it 2-2-2? 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. Wasn't it 2 on Monday Night Football, or am I tripping? Or was it 3-2-1? I'm not sure. But I get a feeling they're going to do what I want. They're going to do what I least want to happen. I don't want the Monday night playoff game. Give me Saturday or Sunday. I do not want the Monday night, but Jayden is so big time. Jayden is so him. And Jayden in SoFi Stadium versus Matthew Stafford and company, that just spells Monday Night Football to me. I don't know. Didn't the Eagles get spanked by the Bucks on Monday Night Football last year? Monday night don't feel right for the playoffs. I don't want that. It just feel the vibes are wrong. The vibes just don't. It don't feel playoffy. It don't feel playoffy. Here's where I think we should be playing. I think we should be playing on Saturday night. I would love the Saturday night playoff game. That would be fire. Like if they started the playoffs with the NFC on Saturday and the AFC on Sunday, or mixed it around a little bit. I would love the Saturday night playoff game, no matter who we're playing, whether it's Tampa, Philly, or the Rams. I think also the matchup will dictate when we play, but I don't know, man. What is your preference for Washington's playoff game, or do you not care? You're like, fuck it. As long as we're in the playoffs, I'm not tripping. You want Saturday evening to open up the playoffs? You want Saturday night? You want Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening, or do you want Monday night football for the playoff team? Just mind you, if you win that playoff game on Monday, you're looking at a shorter week than a lot of the other teams, and that can be very not advantageous for a team nursing injury and trying to get guys right for the next round, which I know is looking ahead of things. But now that we're in the playoffs, I think we've afforded ourselves the opportunity to crystal ball a little bit, to look into the future. So, to summarize this video, Jayden Daniels is number 3 in the entire league in Pro Bowl votes. Washington is number 3 in the entire league in Pro Bowl votes. We have a bunch of guys that are top 5 at their position. Washington's going to get a few Pro Bowlers for the first time in I don't know how long. Austin Ekeler, we're getting some positive signs that he could possibly return. We got a little update, but we're waiting to hear more on Marshon Lattimore. And we all sit and await how this playoff picture plays out to see who Washington plays and when Washington plays during the playoffs. Also, everybody's been looking at possible road trips for the team next year. We were looking at Washington's opponents for next year. You know, we got the division, but we also play the Bears, the Lions, the Broncos, the Raiders, the Rams, the Packers, the Vikings, the Chargers, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Falcons. Next year is going to be litty. And if you heard some of those names on that list, do not be surprised if Washington's in 5 or 6 playoff games, if we're potentially on opening night, if we're potentially on Christmas, if we're potentially on Thanksgiving, or if they send our ass over to Germany or one of these games in the UK. Do not be surprised at anything, because going forth, our life has changed. We are now one of those teams that people want to watch. We are a draw. Washington Sunday night game versus the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday was the most watched Sunday night week 17 game since 2019, I believe. In 5 years of week 17 Sunday night games, Washington was the most watched. 20 million people watched Jayden Daniels go ham on the Atlanta Falcons down the stretch for 354 total yards, 3 touchdowns. 20 million people saw it. It's not just us now. Everybody is starting to realize Jayden Daniels' world, we're all just living in it. People are throwing around Patrick Mahomes 2.0 type things. And what I say to that is Jayden Daniels' comp is Jayden Daniels. First of his name, long may he reign. There is no comparison. He is himself. People are going to comp themselves to him. We need to stop, because he's not no JV Lamar Jackson. He's not skinny. He is Jayden motherfucking Daniels, and everyone needs to say his name and put some respect and some reverence on it. And also put rookie of the year, elite quarterback, all the tags, you know. He's coming out with a longer list of nicknames, accolades, and achievements than Daenerys Targaryen from Game of Thrones. He's him. He's that guy. And if you don't admit it to yourself, you're in denial. You're lying. And I hate for you to live that way because life would be so much easier for you if you could accept that this guy is coming. He's coming to take over the league, especially on this half of the league, on the NFC, where there are no crazy high ceiling quarterbacks except our guy, Jayden Daniels. That's all I got for right now. Happy New Year's, Washington Commanders Nation. Let's carry this newfound success, good juju, and immaculate vibrations into the new year. And let's get us a playoff win because Lord knows our last playoff win turns 20 years old this month. Our last playoff win is almost old enough to drink. Let's go ahead and get us one this year, in a year where we're just checking off boxes, knocking down doors, and breaking down barriers. Why not get us a playoff win in the Lord's year of 2025? Jayden Daniels, we are grateful to have you. Washington Commanders, I love you. Hail to them. Hail victory. Beat Dallas week, revenge week, all that shit. Until next time, hail to the Washington Commanders, Commander Rio.